Hello and welcome along to the Bunch of Punts betting podcast, your specialist show for football, long shot bets. Join me as ever, Matthew O'Regan. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm smashing, mate. Work week's nearly done. Weekend coming, and I saw 6 goals midweek, so I can't complain.
Yeah, have you recovered from a trip to Oakwell yet?
Just about, yeah. It's taken it out of me 3 days in Sheffield, but it's my favourite city in the UK, so I was sad to be leaving.
For a second, then I thought you said you meant Barnsley's your favourite place in the UK.
Oh, we were in and out of there quick, weren't we? Literally, train station, straight to the ground, and then straight back.
Yeah, in and out. I love B-Town, but yeah, I'm sure nobody's missed it yet, but I'm sure nobody's not seen it, but Gomez's third. How good was that?
Yeah, seeing that live as well, obviously, we were the other side of the pitch to it. And it was just probably the best goal I've ever seen live. And yeah, it was just a good day. Your hate watch of Tommy Watson was unsuccessful, him getting 3 assists, but
He did no. Apart from them 3 assists, he did fuck all.
I know you were going through the assists there. Nah, that shouldn't count.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a fun day out.
Yeah, it was all right, wasn't it? Someone at my work said keeper should have done better for that third goal. For Gomez's third.
Chatting out his arse. That was a wonderful hit.
Waffle. And if you're watching on YouTube, you may have noticed we've got a special guest, Mr. Tom Love. How are you, sir?
Yeah, all good, thanks, chaps. Delighted to be on. A long time since I've been on a podcast, but a late call up. Yeah, got a few nice angles for you, I think. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Lovely stuff. I actually used to listen. You were the first betting podcast I used to listen to back in the day. We loved betting with Mark O'Hare and somebody else.
Yeah, it was. We were the OGs when it came to the.
You actually were. Yeah. You actually were.
No, every Tom, Dick, and Harry has a fucking podcast. So yeah, it's been a while, but good to get back into the swing of things, and people can see my lovely mug if they're watching on YouTube. So
yeah, any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Speaking of which, we mixed up the routine a bit last week, didn't we, Matthew? It's more Muggy Acker focus, and it got off to a terrible start. Goal scorer Trixie went 0-3. Acker never got anywhere near, did it? I'm just looking. I think Stevenage and Weston-super-Mare won. Goals in Swindon. Huddersfield didn't win. Sheffield United didn't win. Then the prop Acker, we had a void. I had a centre-back to shoot, Chris Richards. All the other Palace centre-backs shot apart from him. And then I lost interest after that. So we're off to a flyer, aren't we, Matthew?
I think I had... I can't remember exactly. Dak didn't do anything. But I had... I think it was Veltman and Porro, 2 and 3 tackles each, which clicked, which was nice. That West Ham player didn't play, so that was void. In the non-league nerds, Star Single had 1.5 points on Weston-super-Mare to win to 0. Had like 3.4-ish, I think, which won. The Acker didn't win, so it was sort of mixed bag from me as well. So it wasn't the ideal start.
Yeah, I could have said about all the non-league nerds winning, but you hadn't sent me your bets for it yet.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'll sort that all out.
You big stiff idiot.
I completely forgot.
There's no non-league nerds as well. FA Cup in it this weekend.
Yeah, and the markets are a bit shit on the FA Cup. They only offer sort of the over 2.5 goal line, no matter what the game is. So it's shit odds, and they only offer the one basic handicap and a win. So I had to scroll through, and there's nothing that really stands out. I was tempted to back Dagenham. That's how dire it got. But yeah, I know they're away at Spalding, who obviously beat Alfreton last week. But Spalding are like
no need for that, is there?
They're like 5-4 favourite Spalding at home to Dagenham. So I was tempted to take on Dagenham, but again, Dagenham were just a bit too short.
Listen, I play sometimes best bet, no bet. What we're going to do this weekend. Kick off with an Acker or multiple Ackers. We'll just see what's brewing, and then I think the lads have got some more prop related punts to finish this show off. I've got a couple of singles as well worth mentioning later on. Do you want to kick us off, Matthew, with a possible Acker pick?
Yeah, so I've got 5 possible selections, and they come from each different league. Wasn't planned, I've just realised that now, but I know Tom's got 2 of the same as me, so I'll do my Premier League one and then let him talk about the Championship selection after. So I'm sort of breaking the law by picking my own team in an Acker. I'm not having us to win. I know that's stupid. I'm having both teams to score on overs, Chelsea-Brighton tomorrow. It's landed 3 out of 5 for Brighton. The exceptions were the 1-1 draw at home to Fulham and 2-0 loss away at Everton. And obviously, Tom, you were with me at that game, and It's a game where Brighton obviously missed a pen, missed an open goal, hit the crossbar, should have scored about.
Oh yeah, I were on both teams to score that day.
Yeah, I know. And then it was shocking. And then, Fulham 1-1 at home. We were without a clean sheet this season, only failed to score against Everton. We can't defend, but we're fluid going forward. So it just has the makings of a high-scoring game. Last year we lost, 4-2 away at them and beat them 3-0 at home. So there's always goals between us. And it's got the potential for it again. It's landed 3 out of 5 for Chelsea. Again, one of the exceptions was a 2-0 win over Fulham, where Fulham have since had the apology for their goal being ruled out. So, again, realistically, it probably should be 4 out of 5 for both of us. So, both teams scoring overs at 1.83 would be my first selection for the ACCA if we wanted it.
I don't have any complaints about that.
So we have
No
it
complaints.
We have it in then, fine.
You can for me. What is it again? Both teams to scoring over 1.5 or 2.5?
Jimmy, if both teams to score lands, obviously, what over 2.5.
So I went on Oddschecker to build it as we went along, and then I got distracted by something. I was thinking, Chelsea and Brighton, they don't really like each other. And then I clicked on card bets and Oddschecker, and then I was like, no, focus on what Matthew's saying. And then I went on 365, and then I went to withdraw some money, and I accidentally deposited that amount. So then I tried to withdraw it quickly, and then I thought, does that mean I've been paid? Sorry, that's just what I was doing then when you were talking. He said, does that mean I've been paid if I can deposit? Because I'm sure I didn't have enough in that bank account. And then I went to check the bank account, and then that's when you were finishing talking.
Yeah, but score and over 2.5 goals is the bet.
Are you all right with that, Tom?
Yeah, no, looks like a good shout. I think goals and Brighton just go hand in hand, and they have done for 7 or 8 years now since the De Zerbi days. So at that game, I mean, Welbeck could have had a hat trick, and he was absolutely dire. To say he's a Premier League footballer, it's crazy, really. That was a shocking performance, but that could have had 5 or 6 goals in that game. So I think goals, good price as well. That looks like a good one to just start the ACCA.
Nice. You have to pray he's not on penalties anymore.
Yeah.
Welbeck.
He won't. He shouldn't have been, because O'Reilly scored last game of the season against Tottenham from a pen. First game of the season against Fulham from a pen, and O'Reilly was on the pitch. So for some reason, Welbeck took it. And then we got another one against City at home, and Milner took that and scored. So I can't see. We've got quite a few good penalty takers, so I can't see Welbeck on it.
Is O'Reilly not on pens anymore then?
No, thankfully he's gone to Marseille, so I don't have to watch him stroll about the pitch anymore.
I thought you had him to finish top goal scorer.
I knew, because I thought he'd be on pen in his 40s. But first two before that performance at Everton was absolutely diabolical. And he was also shit against Fulham, so sort of just hers has just fucked him off.
Get out of my club. Right. Where are you taking us next, Tom? Somewhere in the Championship?
Yes, I'm going to take on Sheffield Wednesday, which you'll be pleased about, Jimmy, being a big blade. But I like the price here about QPR to beat Sheffield Wednesday, just about 6-4. I think that's quite generous. When you're looking at Wednesday's kind of relegation price, and the bookies aren't giving them a chance, really. Obviously, they did win last time out against Portsmouth away, but I think Wednesday might play with a bit more freedom on the road. But at home, it's not been too pretty for them. Obviously, with the fans rightfully fuming with the owner. It's just not really a place where they want to be playing football at the minute. And they've actually conceded the second most shots in the league. Only Wrexham have conceded more, so conceding 17 shots per game. I mean, QPR here could be kind of licking their lips at the prospect of adding to their few good results that they've had. And I think QPR might be a bit of a dark horse now this year. Now they've got Kone. They've got Saito as well, who's a really good player, can kind of break through the midfield. And then they've got Kwame Poku as well on one of the wings. Lots of attacking threat. And Julian Stefan, the manager, used to be the manager of Rennes in League One, and did a real good job with them. Since he's left them, Rennes have really kind of gone downhill and not seemed to recover. So I think that's a real good appointment from them, and I think they could be kind of top 6 candidates. So to get 6-4 about them to add to their winning run, I think that's going to boost the ACCA up plenty. So yeah, I'm happy to chuck them in if everyone's happy with that.
I had them written down. I've put them in my odds checker article as well. So yeah, I'm fully sold on QPR as well.
Yeah, I'm all over that. We don't need to dwell on it much more, but it is definitely worth saying Wednesday, 100% worth getting against at home. And there might even be a case to get with them away from home because they've actually been doing all right on the road. It must be something to do with all toxic atmosphere at Hillsborough. But yeah, that's going straight in. I can't believe that price. But sticking in the Championship, I was just looking then, because I've got a few things I like, but I think my favourite pick's probably goals. Ipswich v Portsmouth, over 2.54 to 5. It's a bit shorter than what we've been getting, but I'm going to hark back to the last time they were in the division, 23-24. Both teams to score clicked in 74% of their home games, and overs clicked in 74% of their own home games as well. There were at least 6 goals in nearly a quarter of their home games. They were just absolutely nuts. And this season, they drew 1-1 with Southampton. They drew 2-2 with Derby. They beat someone 5-0, I can't remember who. And then away from home, it's weird. At home, they seem to be gung-ho, all-out attack, just try and outscore their opponents. Away, they're more attritional, a bit more cagey, look to pick up a point, which it worked for last time McKenna in the league, and it looks like it might work again. You should probably... Ipswich are like 1-2 on, and if the Championship's taught me out this season is don't back the favourites, because you've just been getting stung constantly in the early part of the season. So I didn't really want to get them on side and goals just because of how the Championship's been going. But Portsmouth go there without their first choice keeper. Killip's in net. Schmidt got injured against Southampton. He's going to be out for a few weeks. I watched a bit of Killip at Barnsley, quite a bit of Killip at Barnsley, and I thought it was all right, but Portsmouth fans aren't having him. And to be fair, he might not be up to the level. They're also without Chaplin. And Murphy's 50-50. I think we recorded on Friday morning. I think they said they're going to see how he is in training today and see if he'll play. But those 3 players are big misses. And the keeper situation helps the goals angle, I guess. But yeah, I think that Ipswich have shown they can cover this line on their own. So yeah, I think it's worth just having overs. Having said that, Derby drew 2-2 and Derby went within minutes of winning. Ipswich have conceded plenty of expected goals against in all of their home games. So yeah, I just the nature of the Championship put me off getting Ipswich and goals on side, so I've just gone overs at 4-5. Is anyone having it?
I like it. I was going to say I've got 2 really strong angles next and sort of semi ones. It just depends how many more angles we have.
Yeah. What, you're saying your picks are better than mine?
No. Because I know me and Tom again have the same one in League Two and one you'll be on. It just depends.
Will I be on it?
Yeah, probably.
All I'm hearing is me and Tom have got this. Do you want me here? Shall I just let you guys carry on?
No, I know you're.
Shall I leave that one for now? Let's hear your picks. I might put that in just to spite you.
No, I like it. I'm saying it just depends how big. Because if, say, we've got like 5 picks each left or like 3 picks each left, you might go back and be like, I don't want that one.
No, I get you. Let's hear... We'll put a pin in that one for now, and let's hear your next pick.
Yeah, this one's not as strong, but I do like it. Stockport Reading, Stockport over 1. They scored 42 in 23 at home last season, Stockport. They scored 2+ in their final 5 of the season, and they start the season with that against Bolton. It hasn't clicked yet for the Hatters this season, but it's sort of only a matter of the time. Reading on the road have conceded at least 2 in all bar 1 league away game, and that was at Bolton, where they were battered and then drew 1-1. Wrexham and Swindon also put 2 past them in cup. I just think pressure's on Reading. Stockport good going forward, Reading shit at the back, but the only worry is obviously how inconsistent Stockport have been, and the pressure is on Hunt, so I can see him going really, really defensive. So yeah, I'm not as sold on it as I am the other 2, but it's still a nice backup if we're out of options.
So it was Stockport to score more than 1 goal.
Yeah,
I've loved Stockport. Oh, they've gone to 4-6 as well, but
it's 4-5. I think it is to score 2.
Yeah. I just mean that they were 7-10 all this week, weren't they? And then they've shortened a bit. And I saw Reading against Barnsley, and they weren't very good. Reading outclassed them, but. I was listening to a Stockport podcast before they played Cardiff after they lost to Plymouth, and they were saying it's not unusual for them to start slow under Challenger last 4 seasons, I think, since playoff season in League Two for last 4 seasons. They're sort of on a par for that.
Yeah,
And I'm just
it's
not
one of them you
sold.
want to get on them before they sort of explode, but it's just when they explode is the issue. But again,
Yeah.
it's not as strong as the other two, so I'm happy to put a pin on it and come back.
What do you reckon, Tom? Are you Stockport to score twice?
I think there's probably better bets on the coupon, honestly, because I've seen plenty of Stockport over the years against Bradford and the like, and that they are really good when they're on it. I think this season Challoner's been a bit nippy really in his press conferences that I've listened to. He's kind of always having a go at the players, and they keep switching off. But they did get that clean sheet. I think like they just need to go back to basics more than anything. I think that's what they're starting to do. They're kind of known for like 1-0, 2-0 wins at home over the last kind of 4 or 5 years under Challoner. I just wonder if they probably take a 1-0. But I do agree that Reading are quite opposable this season. I actually backed them for relegation a couple of weeks ago, and I think they are there for the taking. And I did watch that Stockport game against Bradford. We ended up winning the game, but in the first half they were absolutely all over us. So if they're on it like that, they could be out of sight by half time. But I'm not seeing quite enough from Stockport so far this season in front of goal to really kind of back them at odds on to score a couple.
Yeah, I'm happy to leave that out.
Yeah, we'll put it in back pocket for a minute. But I've got to ask Tom, because you mentioned it. What price did you back Reading at to go down?
I think it was about 10-1. They did go off quite short pre-season. I think because they've not got a massive squad there. Obviously, a manager is kind of untried and untested in No Hunt, and I think it's quite a competitive league this season. So it was just a price play more than anything. But yeah, I had to take a bit of that. I'm not sure what price they're at now.
But especially
9-2 now.
9-2.
I just
how
had a
well
look.
Bradford,
Probably.
Stevenage, and Lincoln started as well. So that's sort of 3 teams you'd not expect to be down there, but it's sort of bottom half. So that sort of put the cat amongst pigeons as well. So yeah, definitely a good side to back again.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. Nice. Where do you want to take us next, Tom?
So me and Matthew both agreed that Gillingham.
Oh, what a surprise!
Yeah, well, I didn't agree with him just then on Stockport, but we're not in a bed that much. But yeah, the 4-5 about Gillingham at home against Harrogate. It's kind of got one of the. It's like, is that a trap? It'll be in everyone's acca, I think. But I'm willing to back Gillingham. They keep going off at kind of good prices. I don't know if that's because of the underlying data or whatnot. But there's just something about Gareth Ainsworth teams where I kind of like disregard the data to some extent. I think it's all about the intangibles with Ainsworth, and he's 18 games unbeaten. He's not lost yet since he's been in at Gillingham in the league, and I just think they're so solid at the back. Generally, I think like they probably only need a goal or two, and they're against a Harrogate team that will kind of win against the poorer teams. I think they'll stay up, but against the better teams, no, they do get outclassed. And I think Gillingham, they're still kind of, I'm just looking on odds checker now, they're 9-4 still for promotion despite being top, 21 points. Very hard to beat. Chesterfield and MK Dons aren't in great form. They've not started how many people thought that they would. So I think that 9-4 is also a bet for promotion. I don't think it takes a lot to get out of this league in terms of quality. I saw that last season. We kind of stumbled over the line. But yeah. I think 4-5, this is a game that they need to win if they're serious about doing this. But yeah, Harrogate conceding plenty of shots and plenty of XG, especially away from home. So yeah, I think 4-5 is very, very tempting. I think that might go off a bit shorter.
Yeah, definitely. I'm all over this pick as well.
Yeah.
And the same thing I thought. It's one of them that you see in 4 to 5, and you think exactly what you said, Tom. It feels like a bit of a trap. Do you think it's a trap, Matthew?
No, it's one of them. I just think it was like you guys were in the debate over Stevenage at home to Exeter last week. It's one of them that just don't overthink it. It's a good home team versus a shit away team. You've just got to take that. So if it was like a more fashionable team than Gillingham, like Chesterfield or something, I can't imagine they'd go off at this price. I don't know why. I think it's a mentality thing. There's people like Gillingham, low margin, can sort of just scrape through. But yeah, I just think just because it's Gillingham and how Ainsworth sets his sides up, that's probably why the price. But it's one of them, just don't overthink and have it in, I think.
Nice. I don't actually think Ainsworth's lost in the league since he come back. Since he went to Gillingham. I
21, I think, or 22 unbeaten or something like that.
It's worth mentioning Harrogate won the last game, but that was against Shrewsbury. Terrible. The team really on a downward trajectory, and then they lost the previous 4. And you look at the teams they lost to: Swindon, Crawley, Bromley, and Chesterfield. I think Gillingham have made a better start than all bar my beloved Bromley and Swindon. So yeah, I'm all over this. I think that's got to be the third pick in. Before, you got another strong one, aren't you, Matthew? But I just wanted to mention, while we're in League Two, Walsall at Accrington.
Yeah,
Any takers on that?
I looked at that.
Yeah.
What did you reckon?
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't really have much. I didn't write. It's one of them I didn't write down for notes, but it's, when you scroll through, like, you're gonna have an acca. Yeah, it was one that I would have in a personal acca, so I do really like it.
Yeah, it was just because there was a lot of uncertainty about Walsall heading into this new season. Obviously, the capitulation last time out, losing Nathan Lowe, being clear at the top of the league, falling into the playoffs. They made it to the final, and then recovering from the disappointment of losing in the playoff final. And they've seemed to have sort of picked up where they started last season. They've only lost twice, at home to Grimsby and then away at Gillingham. We just spoke about how good Gillingham are. Grimsby have made a really good start to the campaign. Artell, I think it's his second full season, I think, at the club. He seems to have really got things going there, so there's no shame in losing at home to them. They put 4 past Tranmere, drew at Fleetwood, beat Chesterfield in the league, and MK Dons and Salford. So they're now 5 unbeaten in the league. I think 6 unbeaten in all competitions, and they've won the last 5. And Accrington, I know they draw a lot of games, but I just think they're a bottom half poor side that I could see them just getting outclassed by Walsall. Who, they're not afraid to play direct football. They should be able to keep them at arm's length. And I just can't see Accrington threatening them that much. But yeah, as you can probably tell, I didn't have any notes on this game. I just saw it on the League Two slate, and I thought it might be a price worth taking. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I do like Walsall. I think they're serious this season again. And Accrington, I did back them for relegation a couple of weeks ago as well, but then they've gone on and won a couple of games. They beat MK Dons last week. But yeah, I agree. I don't think they're up to much, really. They are drifting as well, so Walsall kind of 13 to 10-ish. I think they're backable there. I think it'll be quite a tight game, but I do like Sadler. I think he's done a great job there. So yeah, I'm more than happy with that. I do like that price.
Yeah, I really like Sadler. Without Walsall, with Gillingham, it's about 6.5 to 1. With Gillingham, it's over 16 to 1 on 365. Is there any picks you desperately want to mention, Matthew?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, I'll leave. Or do you want Walsall in? Depends how big you want to make it. I'll leave it out for a minute.
Walsall in could make, unless you guys oppose this one or have a strong one, we could just have a 5-fold.
Nice.
But yeah, it's Halifax, Aldershot, both teams scoring over 2.5. Aldershot is just sort of a blind bet for me every week with goals. It was the same last season before. They're diabolical. They lost 4-1, I think it was, to Yeovil midweek. I know they definitely conceded 4. First half an hour, Yeovil could have put about 5 or 6 past them. I watched a bit. They were absolutely diabolical. Yeah, both teams' scores landed in 4 out of 5 away for Aldershot, and 9 out of their 11 games have seen over 2.5. Halifax under Millington last season were a bit sort of pragmatic, low-scoring games. But this season, it's gone out of my mind now. I think it's Adam Lakeland manager. He's a brilliant young manager. Was at Kings Lynn, sort of made them more expensive. Could have that completely wrong, by the way. I've forgotten who is a manager, but I'm pretty sure it's Lakeland. At home, all 4 games have seen both teams to score, and 8 out of 11 have seen over 2.5. So you're getting a combined 17 out of 22 that have seen over 2.5 for this. And yeah, Aldershot for me are just the bankers for goals every week. The only week I haven't backed them for goals is when they played Hartlepool, who are like 0-0, 1-0 merchants. That ended unders. So yeah, just a no-brainer for me, Aldershot. They're really good for goals. They're against an opponent who are good for goals this season. So yeah, for me, both teams scoring over 2.5 is a really, really strong pick.
Yeah, it looks really good. I've just got Halifax's recent results up, and there's a lot of goals. It was only the trip to Southend where they were down to 10 men that they hadn't scored recently, and it is Lakeland, their manager. I just can't believe they keep. It seems like every season Halifax like lose the spine of the team to the Football League, and then somehow they're just there and thereabouts the following season. I don't know how they
don't
do
have
it.
much money either, do they?
No,
and they're cash strapped.
Yeah, and the ground come February time's always unplayable. They share it with do they share it with a rugby team or something as well? Like, it's just unbelievable what they do. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I've noticed that Matthew's been on the Aldershot goal train, and there's no reason to get off it really. I do think Halifax have got, is it Cower up front and Jay Turner Cook, who they got on loan from Newcastle. He's a really good young player. I thought he'd get an EFL loan, to be honest. Scored the other week. I think, yeah, they've got plenty of attacking options, but Aldershot seem to go for it away from home and at home. So, yeah, there's no reason to not stick that in. Aldershot always being good for us. So, yeah, chuck them in. Why not?
Yep. Last week, the ACCA, we settled on something around 20-1. This week, with that pick, it's nearly 31-1. Is there any other strong fancies you got, Tom, worth mentioning? Like ACCA ones, or have you said them all?
I'm not really looked outside of the EFL.
No.
I think we've got enough there, to be honest.
You happy with that, Matthew?
Yep. Sold on that.
Sweet. So the ACCA is, I'll work down from the Prem. Chelsea, Brighton, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Championship, we're taking on Sheffield Wednesday. QPR 11-8 to beat them at Hillsborough. This is with 365, by the way. 2 picks from League Two. Gillingham to beat Harrogate at home, and Walsall to beat Accrington away. And then goals in the National League. Halifax versus Aldershot, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. So the 5-4 pays out at a little bit under 31-1. With Bet365. Right then, we're doing some props, and I've got a couple of singles worth mentioning. Do you want to kick us off, Matthew?
Yes, so obviously, as ever, using Stats Hub, I've sort of looked through the slate and picked a bet. So I've got a couple bet builders for the Prem. I'll go through it alphabetically. I think that makes most sense because my strongest 2 are towards the end. So, I've got a championship pick for tonight. Actually, I'll go with that. West Brom, Leicester, and it's an angle 1 and 2 fouls at evens and 5-1, and 1.5 points on the 1 foul and 0.5 on the 2. Sort of been shifted to right back. Started as a centre back for them, shifted to right back. Made a foul in 3 of his 5 starts, 2 out of 3 since moving to right back. And yeah, he's against. Can't even think he's on the left for Leicester. Mavididi, I think, or Fatawu. Yeah, it'd be Mavididi, I think.
Mavididi, yeah.
Yeah, 5 of the 7 right-backs play Leicester this season have made at least 1 foul, with 3 making 2. The only 2 fullbacks who haven't made a foul are, not going to butcher his name, the Coventry right-back, Milan Van something, and Bright Asai Samuel, and both are sort of fullbacks, not really known for their fouls, and stuff. The more attacking wing-backs. So yeah, against Campbell's a traditional centre-back, sort of out of position against Mavrididi's foul for fun. I think evens for 1 foul is big, and I'm taking a long shot punt on 2 fouls at 5-1 as well.
I love it. You just reminded me, actually, I've got a bet in this game. West Brom left back. Well, he's versatile. Callum Styles been playing left back this season. I think he played there the majority of last season. He's 9-2 for a card with Sky Bet 4s with Paddy Power, Betfair. I'd take the 19-5 with William Hill as well. Even probably the 7-2 with Coral and Ladbrokes is 3-1, 365. That's too short. That's probably about right. But I just thought 92 was a massive price because you've mentioned Mavadidi, but on the other wing it's Fatawu, and he's been drawing 2.3 fouls per game. He got his opposite numbered number against Coventry de Silva, I think it was, but that's the only player he's got a card this season. But Styles got 12 last season. I think it was 11 yellows and a red, so that's a cards per 90 average of 0.41. And in the Championship, he's got a cards per 90 average across his career of 0.21. So whether you look at his stats from last season or the Championship as a whole, this price is I'd say it's probably about half a point too big based on his Championship record. But recently, he's just started getting loads more cards. I think he's got one this campaign as well. So the 9-2 with Sky Bet looked a little bit too big to me. Referee Stephen Martin, he's dished out 17 cards in 3 Championship games this season, which is quite a lot. And I think he's averaged just around 4 across his career, so it's not outrageous, but enough for me. Good enough for F to get on this price, considering the Styles' recent cynical form and who he's expected to be opposing is pretty good at drawing fouls as well. So Callum Styles to be booked 9-2 Sky Bet, but as I say, I take the prices with Paddy Power, Betfair, William Hill, maybe even Coral and Ladbrokes as well. But yeah, I think 4-1 is certainly worth taking with Betfair and Paddy Power. Right, into Saturday. Where shall we start?
Tom, I know your one Sunday. Do you have any Saturday ones?
Saturday, yeah, I've got a couple actually, and they're all in the 12:30 kickoffs in the Championship.
Nice.
So there's some big prices here as well. So I know the listeners love a big price. So it's all over like one particular theme, and it's fullbacks and wingbacks and how they're more. Managers seem that they're more interested in getting the fullbacks to attack rather than defend. And the way that a lot of teams play now with 3 centre halves and like a midfielder will drop in, and it's kind of on the fullbacks to give some attacking verve to the teams. And there's 3 players here that I'm focusing on. So the first one is Alex Cochrane for Birmingham. They're away at Coventry. I think Coventry look a little bit short in this one. I think at home they have drawn a couple of games. But I'm going to back Cochrane for a shot here, 7-4. I think that's quite a big price just for one shot. So one thing we're seeing with Birmingham under Chris Davies is quite a fluid formation. Like players seem to pop up anywhere, and the fullbacks tend to get forward. So he's actually been given the nod ahead of Ethan Laird, who's a player that I really like at left back. But I have noticed his attacking output increased pretty significantly. So he's had a shot in 4 of his 6 starts, and he had 2 last time against Swansea. I did back him in that particular game after Boom there. But I think the super sub feature here is really interesting as well. If Laird does come on for him, say they're losing at half time, I think they might make that switch. And Laird is priced at kind of 4-7 for a shot, whereas Cochrane in the same position is 7-4. And Laird averages 1.8 shots per 90 as well. So I'm going to take him over 0.5 shots, and also have a small punt on over 1.5 shots at 9-1. Obviously did land last time. He actually ended up on 3 with this super sub, but he did have 2 himself in that game. So that'll be the first bet. The second one, another early kickoff in the Championship, Swansea host Millwall. And one player who's really stood out for me for Swansea is their right back, Josh Key. Player that I've seen before at Exeter. He's all energy, gets up and down really well. He's priced at 5-4 for a shot and 7-1 for 2 or more shots. It looks massive when you look at the stats here. Again, I've used Stats Hub for this. I think if you look at Swansea this season, I think they're a dark horse. Again, a bit like QPR for top 6 finish. Been really impressed with them. I thought they probably deserved something against Birmingham. They were good in the first half. But if you just look at key stats here, he's had a shot in 5 of his last 6 starts. He's also managed 2 or more in 3 of those. So you're getting odds of kind of 5-4 for one shot and 7-1 for two shots. Against the Millwall side, obviously, played plenty of games this season. Alex Neil's kind of been talking about the workload of his players, and I think Swansea are probably a bet in this game. I do like Millwall, but I think Key, hopefully, is the key to profit. Very good. Sorry, I'll get my coat.
You got to save the one. Save the shit one.
But he saw also, I noticed, I had a look through Millwall's games, and in their last 7 fixtures, the right back has had at least one shot. So it's interesting that they seem to let the right backs get forward. So yeah, that's a real standout bet. I'll just go on to my last one, which is the Wrexham game. They're at home to Derby. Derby is kind of riding the luck from away from home, especially. They've kind of been conceding plenty of shots. And one thing I've noticed with Wrexham, Phil Parkinson was a very staunch 4-4-2 man at Bradford. He's switched it up a bit. He kind of plays with wing backs now and 3 centre halves. And a player that's coming for them is Issa Kabore, who was on the books at Man City, been on loan at Troyes in France and Werder Bremen last season. He had a shot last week against Norwich. And although his data's quite scarce this season, he's only played that one game. He did end last season with 1-1 and 3 shots for Bremen. So he's priced at even money for a shot, which I think is very nice. He's really quick. He's a great outlet for them. He was kind of getting behind the defensive line against Norwich, caused them all sorts of problems, 2 assists as well. So he'll be full of confidence. Again, I'll back him for a shot at evens and over 1.5 shots at 5-1.
Nice. What was the 2 shots again? 5-1?
5-1, yeah. 2 or more.
Great stuff. I was just looking on 365 because I can smell a little tricksy coming on. If you wanted to take the high lines on all 3 of those players to have 2 shots, it's coming in at over 290-1. I think that's going to have to get felt. And I'll check what the price on One Shot are, because them are both getting felt. They're both going in the staking plan. Where are you taking us next, Matthew?
Yeah, I'll stay with the early kickoffs on a Saturday, but go to the Prem. It's not as lavish as Tom's fullback bets, but I've got a bet builder for Brentford United. I'll have 1 point on it. Thiago 2,000, Yarmulke 1 foul at 1.9. Yeah, the Bees sort of took a gamble in a point in Andrews, and he's a bit more pragmatic. Well, Frank is quite pragmatic, but Andrews is shown very pragmatic. He puts a lot of emphasis on set piece, throw-ins, physicality, and sort of Igor Thiago, sort of the embodiment of that approach. He does a lot of work up front. He's not very good, but he does a lot of work. He's averaged 3.3 fouls per 90 this season. He's committed at least 2 fouls in each of his 6 appearances. Looks a no-brainer to add in. And then Yarmulke, sort of mainstay in the team this season, only missed 11 league minutes. He's averaging 1.8 fouls per 90 this season and committed a foul in all 5 of his meetings. You're getting close to evens for a bet that's landed in every game this season. Again, sort of looks a no-brainer. So Thiago 2 fouls, Yarmulke 1 foul at 1.9 with Bet365.
I love it. It's just reminded me, all this talk of the early kickoff. I've got a bet in League One. Leyton Orient hosts Stevenage, and it's a bit of a set piece mismatch, which I love. Leyton Orient conceded the most expected goals from dead balls this season in the division, 5.23. 4 actual goals. Old money. Joe Lowe for Huddersfield scored from a set piece against them. He's a centre-back, if you don't know. And Stockport's centre-back, Joseph Olawu, also scored against the O's already this season. So centre-backs are scoring. Fittingly, Stevenage joint most goals from set pieces this campaign as well, 5. So I'm going to be covering both their centre-backs. Carl Pirigiani, an old friend of mine, one of my favourite centre-backs. He's got 35 league goals across his career, and 14 have come in the last 3 seasons for the Stags. You can get him at 12-1, which is unusual because he's never that big. I'm sure he's never that big. I haven't really been checking him this season, but I never remember him being that big last couple of seasons. He's got a career goals per 90 average of 0.10, which literally translates to a price of tens. So he's a couple of points too big, and that's before you even get started on the set piece mismatch. So half a point on him, and you've got to cover his centre-back partner. I think it's going to be Charlie Good. He's not as prolific as Pirigiani, who is, but Good has scored already this season, and at Stevenage he's averaging 0.64 shots per 90. He's he's not twice the price. He's 20-1. That's with Boyle Sports, but you can get 18s with Sky, Betfair and Paddy Power, which is worth taking. I can't get on with Boyles, but they are I'm assured they're a pretty big bookmaker in Ireland. But I'll track it at the 18s. I just wanted to mention the 20s in case anybody can get on. So centre back goal scorers in Orient's clash with Stevenage: Pirigiani 12s and Charlie Good 18s, 20s if you can get on with Boyle Sports. Right, where are we going next, fellas? Matthew, you've got some more picks for Saturday, hadn't you?
Yeah, one just came into my mind because I had a prop bet for this, but I'm going to leave that forward sort of a goal scorer to do with the props. I'm just checking the price now because it's something I was going to back against. It's a Brighton player. I was going to back him against City, but he was on the bench. And then I forgot to back against Tottenham and it landed. I can't remember if it landed against Barnsley or not. No, it was inside the box. But Ayari to score from outside the box is, let me get it up, sorry, 23s against Chelsea. And I haven't written anything down, so it's sort of freestyling, but I remember against Everton he had 4 shots, 3 outside the box. I think was keen to test Pickford. He scored from outside the box against Tottenham and had 5 shots. And then he scored that rocket against Barnsley inside the area, but from a tight angle. He's a player that last season sort of was rated highly by Herzler. Herzler seems to love him, and I wasn't that sold on him last season. But this season he's sort of gone up a level. He's added physicality. He's always been very, very good in the pockets, sort of playing the ball. And the main gripe with him was he just would never shoot. He'd always be in really good pockets of space, edge of the area, and choose to pass. But I think his confidence is up. He's shooting from all sorts. He could have had one against Everton, had one against Tottenham. So yeah, I think 23s for someone like Ayari to have a pop from distance and score is a good price. I'm having half a point on that one.
Lovely stuff. Tom, have you got anything else from Saturday worth mentioning?
I think he's away. Back.
I just had to grab my charger, sorry. Yeah, so I've got one other bet. It comes in La Liga on Sunday. I'm going to take you to Elche against Celta Vigo. And this is a probably kind of nap material. I'm not sure how long this bet will last, but there's quite a few different angles that you can take. So Elche played midweek. They drew, I think, at Osasuna, and they're playing a Celta Vigo side who just played away at Stuttgart in the Europa League. So they've had a bigger trip. Celta Vigo had a poor start to the season as well. So quite fancy Elche here. But the one player that I want to back is Hector Fort. So he's on loan from Barcelona. Came through La Masia Academy. Technically, he's a right back. But when I was kind of looking at the data for the midweek game, he was playing more as like a left winger. If you look at his heat map, he's really far high up the pitch, and he actually managed 6 shots in the game, which is incredible. He's actually priced at 5 to 6 for just 1 shot at home against Celta Vigo, and he's kind of 5 to 1, or 4 to 1 for 2 shots and 14 to 1 for 3 shots. Just crazy prices, really. I think all of them have to be backed. He's also 18 to 1 to score any time with Sky Bet and Paddy Power. I'll have a bit of that as well, just because I think he's going to be a big attacking weapon for them. Obviously going to be good going forward if he's come through. La Masia is not... They don't really practice the defending there, I don't imagine. It's all about attacking. So yeah, if he does start, I think that's a huge price. So yeah, the 1 shot, 5 to 6, 2 shots at 4 to 1, 3 shots, you've got to take that as well, 14 to 1. It just means that they're all value. So yeah, there are quite a few bets there, but I've just ran through. So if you look at the previous 3 bets that I had in the Championship, and you chuck in Hector Fort to have a shot as well. So it's 22-1 for all them players to have just one shot, which is just a huge price. And for a proper degenerate like you, Jimmy, why don't you take the 2+ shots Yankee, and you're getting 2,400-1 about that. So if you play it as a Yankee, I'd like to do these quite a lot on kind of shot markets whenever I can kind of get on. Take a few big prices, pick it as a Yankee. You got 11 bets there, but you're kind of covering the doubles and trebles and potential for the big jackpot. So yeah, there's much worse 2,400-1 shots than that. And so
Yeah,
we've got to have a 0.1 point or whatever you want on that.
definitely. I've gone too early. I apologise. I didn't know you had another unbelievable shot price up your sleeve. As soon as I heard the 3 early kickoffs, I was away. I've already backed them. I'm going to have to cash them out and redo it. I'm all over that. Looks like a great found. And 2,400-1. That's exactly what we want on this show, isn't it, Matthew?
Yeah, it's sort of putting us to shame recently. We haven't had big ones like that recently, so it has put us to shame. I've 100% backing that as well. It looks massive.
Generational wealth. And I just remembered I've got one that I wanted to flag on Saturday in the Prem 5:30. Forest plays Sunderland. To be honest, I think I just think Forest are a bit short here. I love Ange. If he'd managed my club, I'd just find it absolutely exhausting. I'm not sure if he's learned anything from his spell at Tottenham with respects to sort of the one-dimensional high-line gung-ho approach. If he wants to do some sort of variation on that in the Europa League final, particularly, we saw a different setup. But 4 games in, he's yet to win. Arsenal beat him 3-0. They drew 1-1 at Turf Moor. They were 2-0 up at Swansea in the Carabao Cup. They lost 3-2. They drew against Real Betis in midweek 2-2. Although they should have probably won that game. They deserved to win that game. I was quite impressed with them. Nonetheless, it's Ange, and I think you know what you're going to get from him. And coming back from Sevilla on Thursday night, it's going to do them no favours. Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Was it Thursday? It was Wednesday, weren't it? Sorry.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yes, but still, they coming back from Spain, and then they're going to have very little time to prepare for this Sunderland clash. And Sunderland have made a pretty impressive start to the season. I think they've only lost 1. To be fair, the majority of the games have been at home. But yeah, based on what we know about Forest manager and based on what we've seen of Sunderland so far this campaign, I just think Forest were a little bit short odds on Friday evening, 5:30 kickoff. So instead of just taking Sunderland to win or double chance, I'm going to combine it with a keeper, Robin Roofs to be carded. I think it's 12-1, the double chance bet builder, and the win is 28-1. So 2 separate bets. Sunderland double chance, Sunderland to win alongside their keeper. The stopper has actually been carded once already this season for time wasting. That came in the 0-0 draw, I think, against Crystal Palace. And the referee looks like a good one. He's done 2 Premier League games already this season, and he's carded keepers in each of those, both for time wasting. He booked a few last season. I didn't check all of the results, but from what I remember checking yesterday, it was like 1 in 5 maybe keepers getting booked. But yeah, I think this situation's worth having a keeper card double. I did have a look because going to the City ground, in my head, it felt like a ground where keepers would be getting carded a lot. I think only 2 keepers got carded there last season, 1 in the Cup, 1 in the league. But if things aren't going the way of Forest, it is, in my opinion, it's one of the better grounds in the division. It's quite tight, old school. And there's plenty of scope for the home faithful to be getting on the keeper's back, bringing it to the attention of the referee if the circumstances suit. So yeah, I'm coupling Sunderland's keeper Robin Roofs to be carded alongside both Sunderland double chance at 12-1 with Bet365 and Sunderland to win at 28-1. Matthew, did you have a bet in this game?
Yeah, so I had a couple for the 3 PMs, but I've got 2 really good ones for the 3 PMs, so I'll say them first and then go on to the bet for this one. Leeds Bournemouth, it's a bet I put forward last week. Anton Stack to have 2 shots, 2 fouls, 2 tackles at 5.5. Have a point on that. I'm not given up on him yet. He scored with his only shot, made 3 tackles, but didn't make any fouls. But he's hit 2 tackles in 4 out of 5, 2 shots in 3 out of 5. One of the failure was last week where he scored with his only shot and then he failed to have a shot at Arsenal. And he's made 2 fouls in 3 out of 5, so solid stats for all 3. Bournemouth opposition centre midfielders have averaged 7 tackles per game, like not per player, but per sort of centre midfielders combined, and 4 fouls per game. So Stack sort of should be in for a busy afternoon against the Bournemouth midfield. So that's 2 shots, 2 fouls, 2 tackles at 5.5 for a point. And then got a 2-point single for this game, and it's Semenyo to make 2 fouls at 1.8. I can't believe this price. It's normally a lot shorter. I think it's that price because it's against Leeds and not against like sort of one of the big boys. But yeah, there's sort of no need to overcomplicate it. Semenyo loves to get stuck in, and he's won this in 7 of his last 8, with the only blank coming against Newcastle where he made 1. So yeah, Semenyo 2 fouls at 1.8 around 2 points. A similar theme for the late kickoff, Forest Sunderland. I've gone Igor Jesus 1 foul at 1.72 for 2 points and 2 fouls at 4.33 for half a point. He was handed a Europa League start against Betis and repaid the faith with a brace. He worked tireless off the ball too, committed 2 fouls, and he picked up a yellow before being subbed in the 64th minute. His super sub made a foul as well. Then since joining, he's sort of been a consistent fouler in 155 minutes. He's made 4 fouls, and I love this bet already. And then I looked at the foul record against Sunderland from strikers. So far this season, strikers have made 5, 3, 2, 4, 2, and 1 foul across the league game. So every striker's made a foul against them. How many they played? 5 out of 6 have made 2. So for a player that's getting stuck in, plus against Sunderland, who sort of draw them for fun, it looks big at 1.72 or 4.33. And to round it off, I'm also doubling Jesus 1 foul, Semenyo 2 at 3.2, having a point on that as well.
Lovely stuff. How many bets have you got left, Matthew? I'm fresh out.
I'm all done.
Have you got any left, Tom?
No. They're my 4 already gone. No need to add any more, I don't think.
Lovely stuff. So I'll put all the screenshots of all the singles on the end of the YouTube show. I might also put it out on the newsletter, just all the bets listed out. That'll be easier. That'll go out sometime Saturday if I remember to do it. But I'll just recap the ACCAs we've settled on. And Tom, was it, do you know your 2,400 to 1 was it all the boys to have 2 shots?
Yeah, so all of them to have 2 shots and you're getting that price. Just play it as a Yankee. It's definitely worth a couple of quid.
Perfect. So the ACCA that we've gone for, a little bit over 30 to 1. Goals in Chelsea v Brighton, both teams to score and over 2.5. QPR to beat Wednesday in the Championship. Gillingham to beat Harrogate in League Two. Walsall to beat Accrington in the same division. And goals in Halifax against Aldershot. That's both teams to score and over 2.5, a little bit over 30 to 1. We've also got 4 players. I say we, the royal we. Tom Love's pulled out an absolute pearler. It is Kabore to have a shot in Wrexham against Derby, Cochrane to have a shot in Coventry against Birmingham, Josh Key to have a shot in Swansea v Millwall, and Hector Fort to have a shot in Elche v Celta Vigo. That is, was it 23 decimals, 22 to 1-ish, and then an absolutely nuts Yankee. So a combination of 11 bets. It's the same 4 players to each have 2 shots at around 2,400 to 1. As I say, I'll put all the singles once I've written in the sheet as a screenshot at the end of the YouTube video, round about now. And I'll try and remember to send it out in a newsletter because I know there's a lot of bets to go up there. But I think that's just about everything for this weekend. Tom, thank you for coming on and thank you for bringing some generational wealth to the show.
No, thanks for having us, guys. Loved it.
And Matthew, thank you for your time as well.
Pleasure as always, mate.
Pleasure. Right, best of luck with your punts this weekend. We'll be back next week. Catch you on the Flippity Flip.